Hi, this is Mark with Wooster Surfboards. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Mark? It's Ryan. How long have you been shaping?
30 years.
Where are you from and where's home now?
I'm from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. I live in Hermosa Beach, Costa Rica now.
Who do you have glassing your boards?
Right now, I have a girl named Yerling and her husband. It's a team. They're Nicaraguans, and the girl is one of the best glassers I've ever seen. And she is as meticulous and as good as it gets. And I'm so fortunate to have her. I've been working with her for about 13, 14 years now. And,
Wow.
she is pretty much the backbone of the business.
How do you measure surfboard value?
I still let my feet tell me if it's a good board or not, because I can think it's the most beautiful board ever and then ride it and go, this thing's just not me. It's kind of like beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
What's the first thing you check when QCing your boards?
I really am a big fan of rocker. I look at the tail rocker on a board. That to me is the gas pedal, the curves in the back, the way the concave blends into the tail block, the thickness in the tail. That's where we're doing our turns. That's where we're putting the pressure. Of course, the whole board needs to be symmetrical and everything. But I find if, the nose can be perfect, won't really matter that much if the tail's off, if the tail's real blocky or not foiled right, or the rails don't turn on the bottom perfectly or blend real well. So it's all about the blending of all the things coming together in a very smooth way that you feel it and you don't feel anything weird.
Do you order custom blanks?
Yeah, actually, I was just looking at an Instagram post. Millennium just posted a thing that they just packed an 800 blank container for us today of, the lightest foam they make and the highest quality stuff. And down here, getting materials is a hard thing to do. There's no calling them up and getting them the next day. So this is a couple months process of getting these orders in, getting the container in, building boards off those, and then learning from that. And, everything needs to be really light right now in the performance board market and hold up well. So the way you buy your materials is very important.
Who's been giving you feedback on your boards lately? Like any team guys or?
Yeah, I've been working with one of the kids is Noah Gabriel. He's on the Norway team. He was just in the ISAs doing the ISA for the Olympic qualification. He didn't qualify, but he's a great kid. He lives here in Costa Rica. Another kid, JJ Lopez, he's on the Venezuelan team. I've shaped a lot of boards for Francisco Belleran. He's on the Venezuelan team as well. He's won a lot of Latin Pro contests. So they're mostly Latinos. And going back, I did a lot of boards for Aaron Cormican and Jeremy Johnston and all those kids from New Smyrna that made it to pro surfer semi-stardom. I was surrounded in New Smyrna by a lot of good surfers. And then when I moved down here to Costa Rica, it just blended over into the local market. And we had national champions here ride Woosters and girls and boys. And so I was lucky that, I surf a lot. So I'm always around a bunch of good surfers. And I just love surfing. So that's really helped me integrate into the best local surfers at a break at any time. And I'm very fortunate to live right here in Hermosa Beach, where there's so many people coming through town that I do one-offs for, team riders for other brands. And they're down here, they break their board and say, hey, can you make me a board in 2 or 3 days? And I do a lot of those are hand shapes. With my brand, I do own a shaping machine, a CNC machine, but I still enjoy hand shaping. I hand shape a lot of boards for one-offs for guys, and I enjoy that. I think when I hand shape them the board and it's a magic board, the feeling is just a lot more personal, but I get a lot of enjoyment out of seeing guys surf well on boards I hand create.
What's your PU to EPS build ratio?
Well, for years it's been 90% PU. The last couple years we've blended. I'm getting more and more people ordering epoxies. So we're about 60-40, poly to epoxy 40. And I think it's leveling out. I think that we've learned how to build the epoxies better, where they're feeling more like PUs and people are getting the response they want out of them. And here's what I like to believe, that the older guys, like my generation and the generation beneath me, grew up riding polys.
Mhm.
It's hard to get that feeling out of you. But the kids that never grew up riding polys, they tend to be able to accept the epoxy feel much better because they just don't have this 30 years of the poly feeling in their feet, so.
How much are you watching surf contests?
A lot. My girl complains about it. I don't watch football or basketball or anything anymore. I just watch surfing competition.
Custom board versus stock board off the rack.
I really refer to Woosters as Wooster Customs now. I'm about 90% custom is what I do with my brand. I do some stock boards, but when I do it, I kind of just don't get that feeling of stoke. Like I kind of like get in the shaping room and get in a groove and really think where the guy's surfing and really get in his head. And I'm lucky to get to surf with most of these guys, and And I really like just try to study what they're doing and see what they're lacking or what may benefit them. And I just kind of live vicariously through them when I do customs. And those are some of the most refreshing and fulfilling times as a shaper.
Do you have any
Yeah.
surf shop employees or surf shops that you'd want to give a little shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, we deal with surf shops here, Dinga Surf and Skate in Santa Teresa. Great guy, he's a shaper and really good friend. And we're lucky here in Costa Rica that everyone surfs. And Witches Rock Surf Camp and Tamarindo, they're great people. They import supplies and help us in that way. Walter Surf Shop here in Jaco Beach. And it's just a plethora of surfers owning surf shops here. It's almost old school. It's not a corporate thing here. It's more people just living the lifestyle of surfing. And another one, Pico Surf Shop here in Jaco. Great guys that we build boards for and good friends. And we all surf together and live it like kind of like probably the 70s in the States.
What do you think about board reviews on the internet?
Yeah, I enjoy them. I would like to see them move away so much from the corporate companies and do that with smaller guys that are actually hand shaping the boards. And it's not a model based off another board that, maybe a half inch of the tail was chopped off and it became a new model and, or the nose or any way these models are developed. It's great for business because they're a guaranteed riding thing, but it would be interesting to see them branch out more into hand-built surfboards and smaller companies that are really in the weeds and just grinding it out on a daily basis that are doing it for love.
Who's your stab in the darker shaper?
Well, I tell you what, the first name that comes to my mind is someone you probably have heard of is Randy Richenberg. He's from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. I worked in his factory. This guy is an amazing surfboard builder. He can glass the board. He can sand the board. He puts the best channels, a steep 6 channel like an Allen Byrne. I rode his boards as a kid. I was one of his team riders. And then when I started shaping, he welcomed me into his factory and taught me everything he knows. And he's an amazing shaper. And not only is he an amazing shaper, he's an amazing person, amazing family man, father, husband, and friend. He was like a father figure to me. And that was the only thing that I thought when I started shaping that I didn't want to start shaping because I didn't want to offend him. That's how much respect I had for that person. You know what I mean? And I still talk to him all the time. And, he's an amazing person. I would love to see him do it.
What's your craziest custom order?
I hand shape some stand-up paddle boards too. And, they're challenging because, you get some guys that, hey, I want a 7.4 that's 28 inches wide and 3.5 inch thick with these S rails. And what I try to do with those is I'll make it like a big short board with concaved out with a little V in the tail. And I just treat it like it's a huge high performance short board and guys get them and love them.
Do you have anything new in the works?
I'm going to be getting married in the next month and we're looking at going to Morocco. I've never been there and I love surfing. So I know there's really good rights there. So that's what we're going to try to do. And then, so we have some secret spots here and we have jet skis also. So we access some remote waves around here that not many people get opportunities to. And that's kind of my MO now. Get up at 4 a.m, be out at your local, whether it be on a ski or on, with your buddies and try to get solo sessions.
Mark, the last thing I like to do is end with some word association. I'm going to say a word or phrase. If you can just say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Randy Richenberg.
Epic human being.
Playa Hermosa.
Beauty and the Beast.
Ghost shaping.
Money.
Thanks so much for the time. What's the best way to get someone on a Wooster surfboard?
Hit us up at Wooster Surfboards CR on Instagram. We respond to all messages. And or if you don't want a surfboard and you just want to hang out and surf and you come down here, hit me up on that. And love to show you around. And we have a term here, Pura Vida, where we're nice to everyone and try to welcome everyone. And that's our lifestyle.
Right on, Mark.
Okay, thank you so much for thinking of us.
You got it, man. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye.